Dance is more than movement. It's imagination made visible. Some dancers don't just perform. They create, they innovate, and they become the living embodiment of choreographers' visions. Their artistry shapes the work itself, leaving a mark that extends far beyond the stage. In this video, we explore 8 of the most extraordinary dancers of the 20th century, performers whose talent, presence, and creativity transform dance, bridging classical tradition and contemporary innovation. From pioneers who redefined what it means to move, to muses whose bodies brought revolutionary ideas to life, each tells a story through movement that still resonates today. Let's dive in and discover their legacy. We begin with Isadora Duncan, a visionary who rejected the rigidity of classical ballet and danced to the rhythm of nature, emotion, and freedom. Barefoot, in flowing tunics, she broke every rule of 19th century dance to explore movement as poetry, expression, and philosophy. Duncan didn't just perform. She created an entirely new paradigm. Her ideas inspired generations of modern dancers and teachers, spreading across Europe and America through her schools and her Isadorables. Every gesture she made was a statement that dance could be natural, expressive, and profoundly human. Her influence echoes in every corner of contemporary performance today. From the free-flowing emotion of Duncan, we move to Kazuo Ohno, the Japanese master of Budo. Emerging after the devastation of World War II, Ohno transformed dance into a vehicle of memory, spirit, and existential expression. His performances were both delicate and shocking, combining precise control with the raw vulnerability of human emotion. Audiences were often captivated not by steps or technique, but by the feeling he projected, a lifetime of experience, memory, and contemplation moving through a single body. Ohno's work reminds us that dance can be more than performance. It can be a window into the soul. Steve Paxton, whose work in the 1960s and 70s redefined what movement could be. Founder of contact improvisation, Paxton transformed the simple act of sharing weight into a revolutionary vocabulary of touch, balance, and physical dialogue. Rather than following steps, dancers learned to listen to each other's bodies, improvising in real time. Paxton's approach shifted the perception of dance from fixed choreography to collaborative, responsive creation. His ideas continue to influence contemporary dancers and improvisers around the world, proving that innovation can emerge not just in steps, but in the way we connect physically and creatively. Jorge Donn, the Argentine powerhouse, brought intensity and theatricality to the stage that few could match. As a principal dancer for Maurice Bijart Ballet of the 20th century, Donn became the embodiment of Bijart's vision, performing demanding and expressive works that combined technical mastery with raw presence. From his legendary Bolero to other Bijart classics, Donn's artistry was transformative. His body became an instrument, shaping the work with each movement and elevating the theatrical possibilities of contemporary ballet. Through Donn, we see how a dancer can define an entire choreographer's aesthetic, becoming inseparable from the art itself. Ana Laguna is the dancer for whom Mats Ek created some of his most iconic works. Joining the Cullberg Ballet at just 19, she became the artist through whom Ek's radical reinterpretations of Giselle, Carmen, Swan Lake, and more came to life. Laguna wasn't merely performing choreography. She co-created it with her physicality, emotional intelligence, and interpretive depth. She was the muse who shaped the movement, drama, and essence of these ballets. Her artistry bridges the gap between performer and creator, showing how a dancer can be both an instrument and a collaborator, leaving a lasting imprint on contemporary repertoire. Even now, she hasn't stepped away from the stage, continuing to perform and shape the next generation dancers from inside the rehearsal studio. Sylvie Guillem rose to stardom at the Paris Opera Ballet, conquering the great classical roles with a level of technique and precision few dancers in history have matched. But at the height of that success, she refused to be confined by tradition. Leaving company life behind, she stepped into the contemporary world, collaborating with visionary choreographers like Mats Ek, William Forsythe, and Russell Maliphant, expanding both her range and her artistic voice. Her career is defined by the pursuit of freedom, the freedom to challenge herself, to cross boundaries, and to embody radically different movement languages. Her presence redefined what a dancer could be. Not just technically perfect, but fiercely independent, daring, and endlessly evolving. Russell Maliphant merges body, light, and space into a breathtaking contemporary vocabulary. From classical training to innovative contemporary performance, he collaborates with dancers like Sylvie Guillem to explore the geometry of movement, the interplay of muscle and shadow, and the architectural possibilities of the body. Maliphant doesn't just dance. He designs experiences, turning physical presence into sculptural, cinematic forms that redefine audience perception. His work reminds us that dance is not just about steps or emotion, but about how movement inhabits the world itself. Suzanne Farrell was the ultimate muse of George Balanchine, dancing roles that transformed his choreographic ideas into living, breathing art. Every step, turn, and gesture was honed to convey his musicality, drama, and nuance. After leaving the New York City Ballet, she danced with Maurice Bajart and partnered with Jorge Donn, further expanding her expressive range. Farrell's artistry was never about creating new steps, but about perfectly embodying and extending someone else's vision, shaping the work through interpretation and presence. Through Farrell, we witness how a dancer can be both a mirror and a co-creator, leaving a legacy that continues through performance and teaching. These 8 dancers reveal the many ways a performer can shape the art of dance, creating new forms from scratch. Others became the living voice of choreographers, transforming ideas into unforgettable performances. Together, they expanded the language of movement, challenged expectations, and inspired generations of dancers to see the stage not just as a place to perform, but as a space to create, innovate, and embody ideas. Dance keeps evolving, but it is shaped by those who dare to redefine it. Which of these journeys inspires you the most, and why? Who is your favorite dancer? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next deep dive.